Hey everybody, welcome to One Flight Down Basement Beer Tastings. Today we are looking at a beer that rocks. A beer that's going to get your blood going. A beer that's going to make you feel aggressive. A beer that's going to make you want to stand up to the man. A beer called Rage Against the Fog Machine. Alright, yeah, I'm excited about this beer. This comes from the Kilter Brewing Company in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Great brewery. I'm a big fan of so much of their stuff. In fact, Kilter was the first brewery that I featured on the first episode of One Flight Down back in January 2021. I did a couple of stouts from Kilter. And they do great stouts. But what they're known for even more than that are their IPAs. And I mean, they do some sours and stuff too. But the IPAs, they just do some great stuff. Their flagship beer is called Juicy. And yeah, it's a nice, juicy, hazy IPA. It's so good. And they do a number of different variations on that. So they have a series of beers called Fog Machine. It's an 8% alcohol, usually in around there. 8% alcohol double IPA with rotating hops that goes through there. So it's usually only discernible, by the can, by the color of the fog on the can. Other than that, you got to look at what the kind of hops they're using to tell what the difference from each one is. I've had most of them. I've liked all the ones I've tried. But this one, they're doing something different. This one is Rage Against the Fog Machine. It is a West Coast DIPA, an aggressively hopped double IPA, double dry hopped, with a special blend of Pacific hops, 8% alcohol. Really looking forward to this. When they announced the name of this, Rage Against the Fog Machine, all I could think is, fog you, I won't do what you tell me, mother foggers. Yeah, I'm really excited about this beer. Yeah, I don't know. Back in my early 20s, I was a big Rage Against the Machine fan. I saw them in '93 on the Lollapalooza tour in St. Paul, Minnesota, and I busted my tooth at that show. They were like the second band on the bill, first or second, like early afternoon. I busted my tooth. I remember that. But I didn't feel like I was in pain all day, the rest of the day. I kind of forgot about it the next day and did not feel pain until I went out for lunch and bit into a Subway sandwich with like my front tooth all busted up. Yeah, not a good scene. That was not my finest moment. So that's my Rage Against the Machine memory for you. That's back when I looked like this guy. Yeah, that's it's funny. I always go back to this. Anytime I talk about the 90s, that's my go-to picture. Mostly because I've got an electronic copy of it. Other ones I'd have to like dig around in bins and whatnot. But yeah, that was the guy who went to see Rage Against the Machine and got his tooth busted. But anyway, on to the beer. I'm really excited about this, as I said, and I'm sure that this is not a somehow officially like affiliated with Rage Against the Machine. But like, is Rage Against the Machine gonna sue Kilter over this? Is Rage Against the Machine like that would be the least Rage Against the Machine thing ever, right? That would be like not so much Rage Against the Machine as half-heartedly, angrily shake your fist at the kid on your lawn. Like I think Kilter should be safe on this, but who knows? I still think it's super cool, and I'm looking forward to trying this. All right, so as I said, a different look to the can. All other Fog Machines have had the same look. In fact, all other Kilter beers really, like you've always got the Kilter logo on the front, and there it is on this glass. My officially sanctioned Kilter beer glass. All right, let's go in for... Oh, that's not entirely clean. All right, how about I use a clean Kilter glass? Wow, okay. Here we go, everyone. Let's check this out. I was expecting a little more of a haze on this, but I guess it is going with more of a West Coast, right? So the West Coast IPAs don't generally have that hazy look to them. And this is using West Coast hops. I mean, I guess that's the connection. I know Rage Against the Machine is originally based out of LA, so West Coast IPA. Man, maybe that was the connection. I don't really know why they did it. I just think it's a lot of fun. Okay, on the nose. Oh yeah, getting some juicy hoppiness right there. Yeah, and a little. It's like a smoky note. It actually reminds me quite a bit of the smell of the Juicy, their flagship beer, which I haven't had in a little while. I really like that beer. I should do that one again soon. It's a really really good beer, but it has more of like it's a cloudier look to it, whereas this one's quite clear, as you can see. Anyway, not much of a head on there. All right, let's go in for a sip. Yeah, there's a real juiciness to that. That is really, really nice. And not like I don't think there's a bitter finish to this at all. A lot of the time, the fog machines get a bit more of a bitter finish. There's a little bit of bitterness but yeah, it's not aggressively bitter as much as expecting. I was just expecting this to be just a total hop machine, just like punch you in the face. Hop machine. It's not quite that, but it is very, very good. Yeah, okay. Maybe it is like I right now. I like yeah that last sip. I'm definitely getting a good hoppy bitterness on that. That is just lingering in the back of the tongue. That is quite nice. Yeah, it is a very good beer. I mean, Kilter rarely lets me down. I like most of their stuff quite a bit. Yeah, this is fantastic. Every time I go in for another sip, there's just like a little bit more. This one's kind of hitting me at the front of the tongue a little bit more. Yeah, it's quite nice. Do I recommend it? Absolutely, yes. And anything from the Fog Machine series, if you can get your hands on it, is quite good. But yeah, it's usually got, I think, more of like a hazy kind of an appearance than this. It fits in with the name Fog Machine as well. But this, yeah, more. It's a little clearer, more on the style of a West Coast IPA, but with a kick, a good kick. Anyways, thanks for dropping by the Terry Isle Basement Pub, everybody. It's always a pleasure having you here. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, because I've got videos coming out all the time, and you don't want to miss out on those. You really don't. Anyways, take care of yourselves. Cheers, everybody.